From her, really great quality. I'm gonna open this up and see if I got scammed or not.
I see her as an actual spirit in a human body. I've seen her like that since she came home. Okie dokie, that should be all right. So this is oil and sweats because I turned off my AC because it's loud, and my fan right there, well, you can't see it, but it's right there and it's hitting me, but not good enough, I guess. Anyway, culture reports. Movies. I saw Thor and it was funny. It was really funny, actually. I laughed out loud a lot. They clown Thor on a regular, so I feel like when you go see Thor, when Thor is involved, it's going to be comedy. That has been my experience with Thor so far. Funny, I recommend it. Black Phone. I wanted to make a video about this, a separate video. Maybe in the future when I go see a movie, I'll make a video about it right away and post it, like review it right away. Black Phone was a disappointment for me, but not because it was a bad movie, because it was identical to the trailer. The trailer was the exact movie. You're not missing anything if you've seen the trailer, and I don't like that. And that's been happening for years now, where the trailer gives everything, gives too much. I love Ethan Hawke, and the main actor, the little boy, who was really good, and the other kids, okay, so spoiler alert. It's about, which is a unique idea, and that's why I was really excited for this movie, because the idea was very unique. So kidnappings, you know, violence against children and women, that is my weakness, if I had to say. That is something that I don't like to see stuff about them. I don't like to see stuff about violence against children or women. It messes with me, it doesn't let me sleep, and it makes me paranoid in life. But this movie was about children that were kidnapped and murdered, and their ghost comes back to help the current boy that is being kidnapped and murdered by Ethan Hawke character. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. But it was flat. Like, to me, it felt very flat because I was waiting for something that I didn't see, and I swear it was just like the trailer. The actors were cute. The girl, the brother and sister, were really cute. The main guy, the Spanish little boy, the Latino little boy, he was really cool. You know, it's alright. It's just, I saw it when I saw the trailer. Elvis was really good. Elvis was really sad. Shout out to the cast. I wish I knew their names. I'm sorry, I don't. But I don't have time right now to look their names up. I'm sorry. I'll probably edit and put it in here, or probably not. Either way, Elvis was really good. The actor was good. It was sad because it showed you that he was like super trapped. Horrible contract. Some guy had him like really trapped and bound, like earning every penny, like overworked, overexerted. It was really heartless, and it was kind of sad to see. Entertaining film though, so I recommend it. The guy that played him did really well. I heard he has this thing now where he kind of is stuck with Elvis's voice. I don't know, I guess that happens to actors, I don't know. But yeah, and it made me think about Beyonce, because Beyonce has really smart parents, and she is so blessed in so many ways. But those parents were a blessing from the heavens. Early on in life, you know, they've always looked out for her. They've always been really smart about their stuff. And those parents, with parents like that, is why you can't get screwed, I think, in the industry. I think that's probably part of the reason that Beyonce is on top the way she is, aside from being a crazy supreme talent. And like OD, like worker, like she is, like her work ethic is through the roof. She has parents that would never allow something like what happened to Elvis happen to her, with that horrible contract and all that. They touched on the fact that Elvis stole from the black community. In the movie, they touch on all that. It's really quick though, because they dedicate the film to Elvis mainly. But yeah, it's really good. I recommend it. Let's see. Top Gun was fun. Top Gun was mad fun. I recommend you go see it in 4DX. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. Okay, I know why, because I am a AMC A-lister, and that allows you to go to AMC movie theaters only. And so 4DX is in 4DX. I think 4DX is only with Regal movie theaters. So with Regal, I would have to pay full price, and I ain't trying to do that. So but yeah, if you go see Top Gun, go see it 4DX. you know, the chairs and all that move, and you get like this real adrenaline rush, because the movie is a big adrenaline rush. I saw it in IMAX, and it's a lot of fun. But you also have like all those moments with when they're on the you know, riding the planes or whatever, and you feel like, oh, like you're there too. Really good, really fun. And it made me see the first Top Gun, and I did not like it. So I was right all along. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun for me. But yeah, it was a really good movie. It was entertaining. Let's see, Doctor Strange, and this hurts me to say, but I did not enjoy it. It felt like a B film. It was like, I don't know, it felt like something they threw together for some dough. Should have been a Disney Plus movie or something. And I'm saying that with a weird like vibe, because I love Doctor Strange. He's my favorite superhero. I have two favorites. I have one favorite, it's him, but the super close runner-up is Deadpool. I love them. I love them for different reasons, but they make me feel better. is the main reason. Anyway, Doctor Strange, no good. But if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, like the first Doctor Strange, I highly recommend it. It kind of helped me overcome my anxiety, because it showed you the power of the brain and all that. Everyone, Everywhere, All at Once. It was interesting. It was really good. It was sci-fi, you know, out there. If you don't like movies that are out there, that are kind of weird, then this is not for you. But I definitely enjoyed it. And if you have a daughter, if you're a mom and you have a daughter, or you're a daughter and you have a mom and you have like a strange relationship, I think this movie would be good for you, because it does have heavy mother and daughter troubles with a happy ending. Spoiler. So yeah, that was a good one too. If you know, go with your mom, go with your daughter. Spider-Man, I enjoyed it. I remember people saying that they cried and all this stuff, and I was not emotional at this movie. I don't know what caused people to be emotional. It was alright. Okay, I like Spider-Man. I like the latest Spider-Man. He's my favorite of all the Spider-Mans that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. Oh, the Batman, I loved it. It felt like The Crow meets the Batman. It was dark and brooding and good. I was into the story. I like what's his name, Del Toro. Is it Del Toro? Shoot, the guy that plays the bad guy. Benicio del Toro. No, I'm confusing people. John Turturro. I think his name is John Turturro. He's really good. Anyway, I like him. I always like him. I like to hear him talk. I like to see his face move. You know, when you're just drawn to people, he's one of the people that I like that. Anyway, Batman, I recommend it. I liked it. TV. Oh my God, TV. I'm going to talk about Stranger Things really quickly. I don't want to spoil it, because I know there are people that have not seen Stranger Things, and I refuse to spoil it for you. But it was really good. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid. It gave me Freddy Krueger vibes, and I am 40, about to be 41 in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. And I grew up, I was adoring fan of Freddy Krueger, but he scared me. I had nightmare after nightmare with him when I was a little girl. Very scary person to me, but I love the Freddy Krueger franchise or whatever. Nightmare on Elm Street. This eye is like dry. Yeah, and at first I was afraid. It gave me Freddy Krueger feelings, and I was like, okay, Stranger Things, I'm gonna have to watch you in the daytime. But it was really good. It was supposed to be the end, but it didn't feel like an ending. It felt like, you know, it's gonna be another season, and I hope so. I don't care if they're in college. I want to see them forever. I love these kids. I will say, without spoiling anything, that Lucas scene with Max, well, you know what, I have to spoil it. I have to, or somewhat spoil it. The Lucas scene with Max dying, and what's her name, Elle. Oh my God, I cried so hard. I cried so hard for that scene. I was so moved by Lucas. Lucas was crying like a baby, like a child, like someone in deep pain, and like he was also afraid. It felt his witnessing Max dying was intense, but it felt like a kid crying, and I think that also is probably what got to me. It's like he was so helpless and so alone. And then that song they played, oh my God. Okay, I was listening to that song, so we're gonna jump to music real quick. That song is called When I'm Cold, I'd Like to Die. by Moby, and it was sung and written, I think it was written by Moby but sung by someone. I have to put her name up here. I'm using my phone right now, so I can't look it up. I'm using my phone to make this video, but oh my god, that song, that scene was so intense for me. And honestly, like Lucas, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moving performance. But when you hear that song come and then you see Elle, you know how they jump from their world, like the world they're in, it's like I guess you can say the tangible world, like the things you can touch, the tangible world. And then you have Elle who's traveling through her brain into that space where she could be next to him but not be next to him in that black space. So Lucas is alone and scared, and his love is dying, his first love is dying, and he's screaming and crying, and then it pans out into Elle's world. Oh, look, I'm getting chills talking about it. And Elle is there too, crying, and it just made me cry so much because it makes me feel about the loneliness that you feel when you're crying alone in your house. Think about it. It's like this guy thinks he's alone. He thinks he's alone. He's scared. He's crying, but he's not. There's somebody there with him. This angel element, like, you know how they say you're never alone. You're never alone when you're crying in your room, when you're crying in the tub, when you're scared and you're sad and you feel all sorts of like real significant pain, and you're crying by yourself, and it feels worse because you're by yourself. But then people say you're actually not by yourself. Like, there's someone there. There's a spirit there. There's someone there. That's what I got from that scene, and it had me in my feelings. I was really, really, really drawn to that pain. That song, I have to talk about it because I have been, the last couple of months, really in a lot of pain and suffering. And I've had this strong loneliness that is kind of like, I don't know how to describe it because I'm me, and it's going to be hard to describe some feelings like love. I feel like it's really difficult to describe it with this loneliness, but without scaring anyone, because I'm all right. I'm just going through hard stuff, like real legit hard stuff. The hardest thing I've had to go through with a baby to care for 24/7, so it's really difficult. But I could tell you, without scaring you or alarming you, that I understand why some people might turn to suicide, because loneliness has to be the worst feeling I've ever felt. It is not just this word that you hear when you're by yourself on a Sunday because all your friends are hanging out and you can't. It's deeper than that. It's every day, it's every night, it's all the time, and it grows. It's a growing pain, and it's brutal to deal with, and you don't want to deal with it anymore. And you're like, yo, I can't put up with this suffering anymore. Like, I'd rather not put up with the suffering anymore. And some people, you know, unfortunately take their own lives. But you understand that. And with this moment in that scene and the song they played, I had to like do, I had to do my research because the song was so moving to me that I needed to look it up. I needed to know everything about it. So I looked it up, and I found that it was a song from the 90s, and that it was chosen because it really does convey the abandonment, loneliness of the moment, of that scene. And that is why I was drawn to it, because that's exactly what I'm feeling in my life at the moment. So I was obsessed. I was listening to that song 24/7, and I was bawling because that's what it did. It actually saved me. It helped me to really pour out all the grief that I've been feeling, like just grieve. It helped me to grieve. But the lyrics are so moving because some people are just poets. You know, some people can really write and really capture the reader, like so good that they can really make you understand, and not make you understand, but help you express that thing that you're feeling, because you cannot express it on your own, and you need someone to get it. And this song gets it, and you feel like, yes, that's it. That's how horrible I feel. That's how desperate I feel. You understand me, and that someone that understands you is ultra important when you're going through, it's ultra important when you're going through rough shit. So the lyrics go like this, and I feel like loneliness and abandonment, I've never heard it described so perfectly of how you feel when you're in that state and in that pain. So I'm just gonna remember off the top of my head. It goes, where were you when I was lonesome? But the actual lyric itself that describes how exhausting it is to suffer this way with loneliness is this, is I don't want to swim the ocean. I don't want to fight the tides. I don't want to swim forever. When it's cold, I'd like to die. Whew, that lyric, because I'm a swimmer, I know exactly what that person is saying and trying to convey. And it's like, I am fucking tired. I can't go anymore. I can't go anymore. And when you're swimming, the horizon feels like it doesn't move. Like you don't get closer to the horizon. You're like tired as fuck. And if you try to swim against the tides, then you know how exhausting that shit is. If you ever got caught in the current, you know how tired. You're just so fucking drained. So drained, so tiring. That's why Dominicans take spaghetti to the beach, because you need to re-up on your energy. It's exhausting, and they described how tired it is to feel that way, how tired it becomes to suffer so deeply, so alone, and that feeling of abandonment. It's literally like someone, like your mom, left you at a doorstep, because you know, the people that you love the most are the people that abandon you, or else you wouldn't just throw that word around with whoever. It's the people that you thought were family. Anyway, so yes, that song is beautiful, and I want you to hear it. Back to TV, Moon Knight on Disney. I loved it. They touched on mental illness really nicely. It was really nicely done. It was a smooth way of throwing it in there. It was about a character that had like another personality, and it talks about why they showed you why that personality developed, of course, as a force of protection. It always happens like that. But anyway, the character Isaiah Isaac, I love him. It was a really good series. I was into it. It felt like a movie. Ethan Hawke was the bad guy. I love Ethan Hawke. I said that already. The Circle season 4 was so delicious. I love Frank. Oh my God, he made me want to be better. You know what I love about Frank is that he has such a kind, not just kind, but it was almost like he gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like when people talk shit about him or try to attack him or hurt him, he was like, that's all right. It's going to be okay. I hope, he has this way of understanding that was like really genuine. Not bullshit, I want to be Mr. Nice Guy bullshit. No. Not passive aggressive. It wasn't passive aggressive either, because passive aggressive people pretend to be nice and they're not. They're just passive aggressive, and that shit is annoying. Anyway, Frank came off like a totally good dude, and spoiler alert, Frank wins, and he fucking deserved it. I was so happy when he fucking won. But yeah, The Circle is a reality show about people who try to figure out who's catfishing. Who's the catfisher? Who's the fake person here? It's really good. There's ways to play it where you don't gotta hurt anyone, and Frank showed you that. And there's ways to play it where you could be a catfish and not a bad person as well. But there's also, it shows you how grimy people really are too. So, it's a good show. I like I think it was 2 that I really liked. When the girl from the Bronx won, shout out to her, she was dope. She was a catfish and she won, and she was a great person. She didn't try to hurt nobody, even though she did pretend to like another girl, like flirt. She didn't pretend to like, but she flirted. I don't know, whatever. It was good. It was good. Season 2 and season 4, really good. Couples therapy was excellent this season. I've loved it from season 1. This season they upped their game a bit, because they provided the therapist that sits there with the couples, which go through really heavy shit, like really heavy shit. It could be triggering, so be careful. But the couples go through serious stuff. The therapist then goes to her therapist to talk about it, to ask for help, to give a better understanding of the couples and how she can better help them. But this season they had a circle of people that included a lot of people of color and black women. So this season included a black couple. The other seasons included a black couple or a brown couple, but this season she got help on the black stories from a perspective that she needed, because she doesn't, you have to understand the culture in a way. You have to understand the person and what they might be afraid of, and what they might not be sharing, because they're afraid to share that part of themselves. And so the circle of therapists, the black therapists, the therapists of color were there to really give her insight, and it really was effective. She was dope. You have to see it. Couples therapy on Showtime. Okay, I'm gonna mention this movie even though I only saw about 15, maybe 20 minutes of it. And that's because it got too scary, and I was like, no, this is not for me. It's a series, it's not a movie. Archive 81. It got scary, and when something's that scary that I feel uncomfortable, I don't watch it. Like when it makes me uncomfortable, like physically uncomfortable, I'm like, nope. but I'll let you guys watch it. Archive 51 on Netflix. Seinfeld. So I have this thing like comfort food lately. I've been going back to oldies. Seinfeld is the oldie I went back to, but it's my first time. I've never watched Seinfeld. Growing up, I didn't watch it. I knew a lot of people that loved it, but I never watched it. And it's hilarious. It really is a show about nothing, which shows you that your life is something even if it's nothing. If you're just regular, it's something. It's funny, it's comical. There's something to say about it. So share yourself if you want to and try to make money off of it. Why not? Seinfeld, really funny. I think all 4 of them are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're all a little nuts. Is it 4? Yes, it's 3 guys and Elaine. In high school, a guy told me that I look like Elaine. I was like, I do not look like Elaine. Seeing Red on Disney, right? Oh, it's so cute. It's weird because it got like controversy. It had like controversial shit around it, and I couldn't figure out why. They talked about a 14 getting her period. I'm like, is that why? Anyway, really cute cartoon movie on Disney. I loved it. I feel like you gotta release the panda, let that motherfucker live, like be true to yourself, embrace the parts of yourself that are not like, oh, cute and pleasing to everybody. Like, if you're a bitch, be a bitch. You feel me? Nathaniel was so fucking good. Shout out to Carmichael. By the way, Carmichael has such a pretty smile. There's like a whole list of people that I like their smiles, and Nathaniel's on that list. Carmichael is adorable. I love him. But this is when he comes out the closet. I guess he comes out as being a homosexual man, and he talks about his life, and he talks about his parents, and he talks about, and this is, I'm being specific because I love to see this shit, because sometimes I feel like I'm in a twilight zone when nothing makes sense. I am like the black sheep of my family, and that's because I've seen a lot of shit in my family and I don't accept it, and I call people out and I fight and I argue. I'm like this one in my family, and it's because I just don't accept it. Like, I don't accept violence against women and children, and so I'm by myself in life because of it. But I've always felt like, how can people just eat shit? Like, how can you just see your dad play your mom and not care, not say anything, or not think anything? And Nathaniel Carmichael, he talks about it. He talks about how it affected him to see his mom eat shit, to see his mom get played one day and the next day make his dad breakfast. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like, thank you. You're a normal human being. Come be my friend. But yeah, it's really beautiful. You should catch it. I love Carmichael, and my daughter enjoyed it. She was watching it with me. Rap shit on HBO. Shout out to Issa Rae. I love her. She's so cute. Rap shit is really good. I'm happy I got into it, because at first I was like, but eventually, of course, I pressed play because Issa Rae. Really good. It's about upcoming artists in Miami, Florida. I like the most recent episode. Well, no, the 3rd episode was really good. It was like a breaker for me, because it showed you the battle with women in hip hop at the moment, and how some want to be super clean and not talk about, like, you know, thought shit, and then some want to talk about, you know, have their fun and talk about their thought shit and just have a fucking blast. And it shows you the compromise and how you could benefit from both, how you can benefit from both worlds. And the thought shit one, I forget the names or whatever at the moment, but the girl that was the rapper about, like, you know, my pussy this and that and blah blah blah, she was the one that really did something, that said something that got me. She was like, you're being controlled by these men because you're holding back, and you're not being your sexy fucking self because you don't want to be about the male gaze, but in that own way you're putting yourself in the closet, you're locking yourself away, you're holding yourself back. And I was like, yes bitch, yes, like, so right. So I love that episode. I think that was episode 3. The most recent episode was probably the funniest episode 4, but it is a really good show and I recommend it. Uncoupled, I just finished Uncoupled on Netflix. Uncoupled was a little triggering for me because, you know, you have this couple, they're older, 50 years old, and one guy dumps the other guy after 17 years and doesn't give him a reason, just deads him and acts like he's full of shit, acts like he's better than, and like, no, it's you, you're all about you, bye. Horrible shit, really foul to do to someone, but I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it mainly because it was like this other world, homosexual older man world, where I honestly, they got like really like frisky in the show, and they let out some things, and I'm like, is that really how it goes down in the homosexual community? Like, supposedly there's no condoms, there's PrEP, something called PrEP that protects them against, like, I think it's like the major STDs or something. I'm not sure what PrEP does exactly, but PrEP was his reason for not using a condom, like one of the guy's reasons. And he made it seem like it was all the rage now, you know, because the guy has been in a relationship for 17 years, so he hasn't been sexually active for anyone else. And yeah, and you go see the world of the older gay guy right now, and I'm like, ah, okay, so this is what it's like. And they're careful about like what they eat, when they eat, because when sex happens, it happens, you know, you gotta not have too much food at the moment, or, you know, not to be too vulgar, but, you know, I'm an adult, and if you're watching this, I hope you are too. But yeah, it was really interesting. I enjoyed it. And it's with Doogie Howser, and I love him. He's cute. And it's with Tisha Campbell, and Tisha Campbell is cute as hell. She's so cute. But yeah, so Uncoupled. Quickly from music, Bad Bunny. Un Verano Sin Ti, that album is superb to me. I love it. It's a lot of fun, reggaeton, you know the deal. Beyonce. Beyonce has me, it's like that When It's Cold I Like to Die and You Won't Break My Soul. That's where I'm at right now. I'm here with these two songs going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You Won't Break My Soul is my shit, because that is a song that lifts me all the way up and tells me, you're Isabel. You're Isabel. You forgot you're Isabel? You're the shit, boo. But yeah, and my daughter loves it, and she be shaking her ass to it. And Beyonce's Renaissance album, 1, 2, Honey, You Won't Break My Soul are my favorites. Honey, it's called Honey something. Honey, Thick. You know, they're all good, but these are my favorites. Like, it's from the moment that they start that these motherfuckers ain't stopping me. Oof, it just gets you started. And that's what I want to do for my birthday. I want to dance to dance music all night long. Like, I want to hear house music. Recently in the park, they had DJs playing house music for hours, and me and Sol was out there drenched in sweat, dancing our asses off. So I think house music right now for me, thank you Beyonce for bringing it forward a little bit, because that's what I need. That's what I needed to like try my best to not die and also have fun, a little bit of fun. Oh, quickly before I end this, there is some stuff that I've been watching on YouTube about moving on from betrayal. Just randomly watching. I Google stuff, I YouTube stuff, and I watch it. And this one guy, I'm gonna link it. I don't know if anybody needs it, but he said something really helpful, because a lot of people out there, they're just trying to get back together. And every fucking video on betrayal is get back together, reconciliation. Who the fuck said I want to reconcile? Who said that I could forgive after a betrayal like this? I'm looking forward to get past the betrayal. I'm not thinking about anything else or anyone else. I'm not thinking about love or anything like that. I am thinking about not fucking dying. Help me. You know, don't talk to me about getting back together. That shit sucks. I don't want to hear it. But this one guy was beautiful in what he said. Like, it was just exactly what I needed, and it was a 5-minute video. So thank you to everybody that makes 45-minute videos that get nowhere fast. He said that you have to grieve, and that's a huge part of it. And if you don't grieve, you're gonna be fucked. That made me feel good, because I am grieving like a motherfucker. I am grieving, and it's a major loss. You know, it's like a person died. That's what honestly happened, because now I realize that person that I thought I knew is gone. He's, you know. So he said you have to grieve. You have to grieve, or else you're gonna be stuck and fucked. You're angry and you're pissed, and you want to kill a motherfucker, and that's because you want to go back there. That's because you wish you had that life again, and you want that person again, and you're still in love. But once you can accept that that's not going to happen, that you're not going to go back, that life is not there anymore, that person just is done, that person betrayed you, you're never going back there, then there's a possibility that you could dream again. And when he said you could dream again, I said yes. Like, my tears flowed, because I didn't realize, like, you know how some people just put it into words so beautifully, and I didn't realize that I was in a loss of the beauty of life. Like, I'm not looking forward to anything. I'm not excited about anything. I'm not dreaming anymore. I am in a really bad place, and he made it seem like there was hope. As long as you can accept that that's over, accept that that's over, accept that this betrayal has happened, accept that you don't know this person and you've been fooled, and keep it pushing. Yeah, and that was what I needed. So it's a little 5-minute video. I added for you if you want to, and if you want to see it, you can. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.